join in a second. If it please work. There you go. That should work. Let me double check everything's okay.
Cool. I've just gone through and tried to add all the
Oh,
drivers.
good shout actually. That's that.
Just so we don't get
don't want to leave the session.
Yeah, we don't get the Thunderhead last week who missed like 30 laps of the race.
Yeah. So I was commentating HRA yesterday. That's all I do on this game. And I completely forgot what league we had the issue in. Obviously, it was this one. So I added everyone in that one, but now my friends lists, now my time trials are just going to be stacked. I'm not even going to be on the top screen anymore.
Oh, I dare not venture back into time trials. I I get depressed.
So HRA is 2 tiers, and the guy who qualified last night, I'm slower than. So
I just get sad whenever I see Fran's times, knowing that me and him used to be on the same level, and now he's just like 2-3 seconds quicker than me.
I'm about a second off him, so I'll take that. But a second off Franz is still last in this. I should have added everyone now. Anyway, we are back for Tier 1 of LSA. We've had 2 cracking races so far, it has to be said. Britain reverses a bit of a anticlimactic ending last week, it has to be said, because of the whole safety car only being out for half a lap. But inevitably, Francis won the first 2 races, and he'll be looking to go back to back to back, as he's not racing next week, so we'll at least get a new winner next week. So Francis is going to try and extend his gap to at least plus 30 points to ensure he'll maintain the Championship League going throughout. I'm joined once again by BQ Gills.
Hello. Good to be back, and yeah, hoping to see a third thrilling T1 race. And yeah, can anyone step to the challenge of Fran's 2 for 2?
He was saying in the commentators chat that Tian Boats, also known as Big T, I prefer Big T, I'm going to be honest.
We're calling him Big T race.
Yeah. Is the fastest here today? Or is that Franz just staying humble? If it is, I don't like this humble act from Franz. It's a bit too Erling Haalandy, and yeah. He's good, don't get me wrong, he's good, but come on.
Who's going to be the Miles Lewis Skelly to shut him down?
Miles Lewis Skelly. He's nowhere near as good as Roberto Scarlos, so pocketed is what happened. Absolute pocket. Ollie Scars had Lewis Skelly and Bukayo Saka in the same pocket. It was incredible.
Not until Lewis Skelly decided I can't be bothered with this and just left the pitch.
Yeah, rattled. Yeah, I don't want to talk about West Ham. I'm upset at the moment. Obviously, it's dry in Bahrain.
Not in your tears, by the sounds of it.
No. I'm not happy with the whole. Oh yeah, another bit of admin. Big T, also known as TM Boats, has a quali ban, so he'll be starting last, and I forgot about that. So, yeah. Bahrain always is very close between the 1 stop and the 2 stop. Either can work around here, from experience. Tyre management is going to be crucial either way. It's just how long you can go on the mediums. Tyre temps are crucial. Also, on the exit of turn 4, there is a bit of a bump, so watch that if you are watching. It's unfortunately on the racing line, so we've seen a couple of cars go airborne. It's quite funny to look at the screenshots in the 2-1 general chat. Let me just make sure.
Basically, Bahrain is one of those tracks. I think it's one of my favourite tracks for racing in real Formula One and in league racing. I think it throws up lots of opportunities for strategy, but also for driving mistakes. And there's so much could go right and go wrong at any given moment. It's really, you never know who's going to win until the very end.
Also in this game, it's now scanned, LiDAR, the LiDAR scanned tracks. So it is a different track, this game, compared to the last 10. Because it's the first time it's changed in 10 years. And it is slightly refreshing. A lot of the corners are slightly reprofiled, which is quite nice. Like this right-hander, as I'm on board with Spinnaker, that's a lot more straight, rather than an aggressive right-hander.
If I remember, F1 22 or 22, that corner coming to the top of the hill was murder. So many times races were ruined by that corner for no reason. It would spit you out and chuck you halfway across Bahrain.
It's quite a small country, so it's quite far. As we're going to go on board with Spinnaker here, I say on board, we'll be on the off-board camera because it's better. As he is going to be the first person to try and set a lap here around the desert and under the lights here in Bahrain, and his teammate Brand Zorbs, who crashed out from the lead in round 1, getting out of the way. He'll be wanting to have a good race today. As we start to see a lot of slow cars moving about in sector 1, there's a Haas slow there. That's just trying to get out of the way. There's a lot of people out of sync right now, and that could cause issues for people who are on their fast lap, like Spinnagop, like Siphon, like Skull, and Storming Thunderhead. But Spinnagop so far, it has seemed okay. It's not seemed the monster lap that we will inevitably see from Franz. And of course he goes purple through the middle sector, and no one's become a victim of the bump just yet. I'm sure it will happen eventually. As through the final corner, which is technically 2 corners, which really annoys me because one of them just isn't a corner. And to the line for Spinnaker, we're looking at the 28s here. It's a 28.5. It's not a bad lap at all from Spinnaker.
No, it's solid start, 28.5. Philip's the guy who, I think, from the series we've seen, has the ability to put in fantastic one-lap times, and that whether he can maintain it over a race, not so much, but his one-lap pace is often quite good. Skull goes second, or third now, as GMZ takes pole provisional.
He's had good pace as G3 throughout the season so far. He's always been up in contention for like the second row, and he'll be wanting to go one better. He was in the fight for the win last time. A Storming Thunderhead goes pole at the moment to make it a Mercedes 1-2 at the top. That's a storming lap from Storming Thunderhead, it has to be said.
Yeah, GMZ last week. I'm not so sure using for the win because Franz was so dominant, but definitely second place seemed to be certainly easy. Got the right strategy call with the tyres, and was absolutely flying through. And then the clash going on to the Wellington Straight with Don Rabico, who is not racing today. Don Rabico was subsequently hit with a quali ban, so when he next races will be for that crash. But yeah, GMZ horribly unlucky not to have taken P2 last week.
It's flying, and hopefully he can go better today because, well, the steward said it wasn't his fault, and it's something that happens, thankfully, in this league, and it's always been the case in this league. No I can't speak. Toxicity. I think it's that. I
You're right about that. Yeah, you got it. Toxicity.
I got it. English has not been my strong suit today, and it's my only language. So, yeah, there's a couple of yellow flags. It's just a couple of slow cars. Franz inevitably goes to pole, but only by 300th of a second.
Yeah,
so there's definitely a time here. Japes up into 4th, so Aston Martin again showing that they are the team to beat here. Although, look how close this field is. First to 8th, all covered by half a second, is kind of incredible. And
I can go down to,
first
to 12th. First to 12th is 8 tenths. But that's really easy to find that time.
You get the lap together, you could see yourself either on pole or down out of the top 10. Obviously, only 18 people today. We got a couple of reserves who are on standby. Someone who we haven't seen in a while, Nick Astley, and I genuinely thought, as I saw the name earlier, it was Rick Astley, and I got scared. So,
with the real Rick Astley.
Yeah. Brands is going to be into the pit, so the next lap will be an Alpine. I think that's Glitch that's also going to come into the pits.
The only person actually on a lap right now is Siphon, who bailed out his first lap with that 155. He's on a full push this lap, so could be seeing the McLaren setting it. What will be an actual time.
That's getting nicely out of the way there. That's going to come up to the second sector split here. 23.4 seconds up on his time is not something we see every day.
This is definitely a full push from Siphon. There we go, Thunderhead moves the goalposts and he takes pole back from Franz.
2.5 tenths, that's in this league, that's a huge gap. As to the line for Siphon, stays 16th fastest, but he's reduced the gap significantly. Yeah, that lap of Storm Thunderhead is pretty incredible. And got a podium in the first round from what I remember. I might be getting that completely wrong, but one of our reserves, I will double check that because I'm sometimes wrong. No, I get him and Boogeyman mixed up for some reason. Yeah, so Storming Thunderhead qualified 5th in round 1. And he's never actually been in the points. He qualified 6th last time. So we're looking to get his first points on the board in this league. And at the moment, pole position is going to be the way to do that right now.
What's incredible as well is that is a second run through on the same set of tyres. So he's done that with a fresher set to come. You think he could probably take another 2-3 tenths off of that time? So he's going to take some mega laps from the likes of Franz and Glitch and Japes to close that gap to our Mercedes driver.
Yeah, no one really on a lap right now, I don't think. Lamb Royal is actually, as I say, that is going to use the overtake and come to the line. Was really good out in Australia, had a bit of a disaster, qualified 17th last time out, only 11th right now for Lamb Royal. So, run a tracks maybe, that doesn't suit him.
Both Hasses had a disastrous qualifying last week, did a fantastic first couple of laps to fly out. Lamb Royal couldn't quite keep it up, caught up in a few instances, but
he goes Spinnercock to the line, 3 thousandths down on his personal best, so he will not improve. So next is Pantry Star into the pits, and I believe the next person we will see is G3, who's on a lap and 4 thousandths up, but just runs wide after the S's.
I think just wide is being a bit generous there. He decided to create a whole new track.
He ended up being in Qatar, so that's later in the season.
Just getting his practice in now.
Yeah. To be fair, there's a lot of S's in Qatar, so yeah, right part of the track to venture out to another Arabian country. Anyway, as we're going to start to see a lot of people's second laps come in now. Whistler is not the first on a lap. I think the first on a lap is... I think it is actually Whistler, yeah. Is it? I don't know. I'm losing the plot.
I think so. I think, yeah, because I think the car's ahead of him. I want out winning laps. Yeah, I believe it is. You've got Whistler on the lap, you've got Jakes on the lap, and you've got
Spikes as
Spikes
well,
on
and
the lap.
Jonas. So it is Whistler. So my initial.
He's up by nearly half a second, so that would put him currently at the movement only a couple of spaces.
Whistler, a bit inconsistent last time out from what I remember. I'm pretty sure he's a lap down at one point. Goes to 14th fastest, as you said. But there's 3 drivers in that, all covered there by just less than 400ths of a second to 12. So there's a lot. Yellow flag in sector 2. That's just a slow car.
Yeah, there's a complete gaggle of cars there. Sort of from look how many cars are within that 28.0 to 28.5 sort of range. That's third down to 14th, covered by less than half, or covered by less than 0.45 seconds. It's incredibly tight between that pack there.
Brand Sorbs then. He's going to come up to the line in his Sauber. Has some great pace in Australia until he crashed. Goes 4th fastest. That's not a bad lap at all from the Sauber driver. He's got a point to prove after his crash on his own in Australia, and he didn't race last time out in Britain backwards. So yeah, Brand's going to want to try and at least go for a run to the podium today. Next
Brand's
on the lap
half a
is
second up.
Nick Astley is down on his time. Could be a statement lap then for Franz to put his name back into, well, move the goalposts again, like you said earlier. At the moment,
27.4, 27.5 here from Franz.
27.3.
27.3. That is absolutely insane.
Advantage Aston Martin, as Storming Thunderhead is just down on his time right now, and he's really pushing the margins here through the middle sector, as he's almost exceeded track limits multiple times. Nearly again, he's 10th and a half down.
I think it's good. And massive wobble there. Yeah, I think it's going to be just to abort this lap, get back in the pits, and have to put it all in that final lap.
A couple of people on outlaps. We've got Lamb Royal and we've got Spinnercop. So behind, Siphon is down on his time, but where he lost all his time was in the final sector on his last run. So he might still improve yet. Actually, no, he won't. He's going to come into the pit lane.
I think Pantry's also on a lap, he's currently 2 temps up, which would propel him all up to P6, P7 sort of range.
Pantry Star, he's had the better of his teammates so far this season in qualifying. He'll be wanting to keep that trend going at the moment. Spikes is the lead Ferrari, but Pantry Star, he's been. Did he get a podium last time out? I want to say he was up there, or he had a disaster.
Who was our podium last week out? Our podium last time out was Franz, Jonas, and Skilly.
Oh, it's he got P5 in Australia. That's where I'm getting that from. Not bad at all.
There's still a P8 finish last week, and then he had a bit of a couple of instances of front wheel banging and a bit of carbon fibre flying from his front wings.
To the line then. He goes 4th fastest. Great lap.
Wow.
From the Ferrari driver.
Found a lot of time in that third sector.
So close. Second to half a second, covering second to 9th. Interesting, to say the least. Spinnercop is 3 tenths up on his time through the middle sector. And that 3 tenths right now would put him up into maybe the top 5. So if you can find anything through the final part of the lap, as he's got the ERS a little bit to play with, it's only 10% when it reduces the engine power. To the line for the Sauber car, wants to put 2 in the top 5, only 9th fastest, so he lost a little bit through the final sector there. Not ideal for the Sauber car. He's still in the top 10. His teammate getting the better of him thus far, as everyone's finishing their out laps. I think I can starting them. Skyler is the one that's finished it, and we're going to go on the off-board camera to follow his lap. In the 99 Williams, Looked okay through the first couple of corners. Opening a DRS on the run down to turn 4. As you've got 2 cars weaving in the background. That's an Aston Martin and a Mercedes in sync. As we're going to go towards the bump here. Just going to catch a few drivers out. Or nearly going through track limits there for Skylar Sims. Has had the pace to be in the top 5 in the first 2 qualifying sessions. Just fell away a little bit in the races. We'll be wanting to try and get an improvement on this lap. As into turn 10, which is downhill left-hander. And it's so tricky to get right and to get the right entry and exit through there. Franz thinks he's done enough. He is retired in the pits.
An ego retirement there from our championship leader. Come on then.
I would love it if Storming Thunderhead beats that. Purple middle sector for Skylar Sims. So he's on an absolute stormer in the Williams. And that would currently put him onto the second row. Can he find anything through the final part of the lap? He's got he's a little bit low on ERS, but the fuel has been drained, it seems. He's going to run out of engine power to the line here. And he does go to the second row. That's a solid lap from Skylar.
That would be his best qualifying result of the season so far if he maintains it. But I do think we're going to see a fair few times drop from the likes of Jake, Spike, Jonas. A lot of those guys are going to be getting into 27s.
Try to figure out who's next on the lap because everyone's a little bit out of sync. I believe it's either Siphon or Whistler. I think it's Whistler on a lap. I could be wrong. Into the pits, Spinnercop. Spinnercop is the only one out there who's in the pits apart from Pantry Star and Franz, who have retired from the session. Whistler needs to improve to try and get towards the top 10. It's so close margins, only 12th fastest. Next
Again,
is the Haas car of Trev, 2 totes up as well. Will he go ahead of Whistler? No, he doesn't. Only improves to 15th. Next is the Ferrari. That'll be 1.5 up. Can he improve anything? Goes 6th fastest. Joins his teammate on row 3. Next is Siphon. Can he get off of the back row? Yes, he can. Goes 15th. Next will be Lamb Royal. Needs a good lap here to get himself anywhere near the top 10. Gets it. 7th fastest. Next will be a Williams.
Thunder has invalidated. Storming Thunder will not be challenging Franz.
Skulls the line, great lap, goes 5th fastest. He was at the bottom for most of this session, and he's found a great lap when he needed it. Next will be Japes. Japes, can he join Franz at any point? He's used all of his ERS though, so he will not improve his position. And you said Storming Thunderhead invalidated his time, but it's G3 next. He's at the back here. Next will be Glitch, only 3rd.
Just misses out, improved but not enough.
Franz orbs to the line, goes to the front row. Wow, great lap. Maloom Jonas up to 4th fastest. That is followed and waiting for Nick Astley to set a lap. Goes 6th fastest. Suddenly, both Alpines are on row 3. And next is Whistler, who we've already seen. He'll come into the pits. And Spikes is not improving. That is... It is done. The session, apart from Trev Parr, but I think he's miles down.
Trev did a lap, yeah, he doesn't that.
But Brand's Orbs goes to the front row late on there, but no Franz with the ego retirement, as you said, 2.5 tenths clear of the field right now. Storming Thunderhead. I don't know if he was up on his time.
No, I didn't catch that. I caught him just invalidated.
Yeah,
yes, Franz doing his best Sebastian Vettel Singapore qualifying session, watching from the pit lane, said come and get me, and nobody could.
Great session for Alpine, both of them up in the top 6. I feel like that's the first time they've had both up there this season.
Yeah, it's an Alpine 5-6, Williams 7-8.
Ferraris were locked out that row for a brief period. But now they can start 9th and 11th. That's how much terrorist ball they've been playing this season in real life.
It's very, very blue top 8.
Yeah, with Sauber and Aston Martin just chilling. And then G3, he was probably the one that's most out of place there. Down in 10th, not a great session for him. Lamroyal in 12th is another outlier. That sets us up for a very good race though. And a race that strategy could play a huge part because of the tyre wear. So we could see some 2 stops and some 1 stops, or if we get an intervention, a 3 stop is never off the cards.
Yes, I'd imagine that if Franz gets a start similar to what he got at Silverstone, where he could sort of just take off and do the whole race pretty much at his own speed, he'll likely be looking to 1 stop because he hasn't got to push the tyres as much. But if someone can get ahead of him into turn 1, or someone wants to try something to try and put the pressure on him, there will be some that will try that 2 stop just because, if everyone does the same thing, you're not going to go anywhere. There'll be some that are going to try and take that risk and try and go for the faster tyres at the risk of an extra stop.
I mean, even on F1 2021, it was a 2 stop round here. That was equally as good as the 1 stop. If you played it right, that's what I liked. I like doing that in EFR because I was never up there, but I tried to put myself up there.
Yes, I think my very first race with EFR was was Bahrain 22. It would have been, and that was the year when it was the 2 stop was optimal, and I was one of the few people that went for a 1 stop, and I would have won had it not been for a late safety car.
Yeah, that's the joys of league racing. 22, I was awful until the turn of the new year in 2023. It got pace all of a sudden. I don't know where it came from. I couldn't tell you, but I
Pure skill and talent.
I just I put it in when it was gold and silver because they had the numbers. I put it on the front row in gold. I didn't know where it came from. I don't even think Zola knew either. Because I commentated silver with him for a bit. Yeah, he didn't even know how I did it. So
I
think I crashed out.
Once I reserved, I think it was Australia, in a gold race, and like in silver I'd qualify like P4, P5 most times, and then I put it like P2 in gold, out of nowhere.
I still got that. I had that horrible stat of I was the Nico Hulkenberg, but for race wins, not podiums. I think I had 14 podiums to no wins. It was stupid.
Early years Lando Norris.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Who's one before that? Because I need to show my age a bit.
Checo had it for a while.
Checo did have it for a while, but then he got multiple.
They got the win here. Well, it was the Sakir Grand Prix.
It's a bit of a Nick Heidfeld. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. There's a weird comeback to F1 in 2011 for him. Out of the blue. I guess there was a other thing with Robert Kubica nearly dying, but is what it is.
Yeah, that was a tad inconvenience.
Yeah, but of all drivers though, Nick Heidfeld was a weird choice because he was old and he was only there for a season. Same with Vitaly Petrov. Like at least Vitaly Petrov was good, he was at least a young driver. I basically, I've read too much into Wikipedia's. I've read too many Wikipedia pages today, and yeah, it annoys me. I went down ELMS.
Gone down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
You said Vitaly Petrov. I had just heard Fernando Alonso screaming from somewhere. The mention of his name.
He wasn't bad, man. He Petrov was one of those drivers who, because he only got one season in like an okay car, he got a podium, I think, Lotus, which in a season with 4 better cars, that's not a bad showing at all.
No, he was a perfectly fine midfield. He was a perfectly fine midfield driver. That's fine. That's still faster than most people in the world.
Yeah. And he got screwed over by Caterham, as you do.
Who didn't get screwed over by Caterham? Even Caterham got screwed over by Caterham.
Yeah. Doesn't beat Felipe Nasr, who cost himself an F1 drive because he was too good. That's my favourite thing. That's my favourite little anecdote. Because that Brazil race, he got points in Brazil, which meant Sauber finished above Manor, which is quite funny. Anyway, there's a lot of different colours on the tyre graphic in the race director. You've got TM Boats, also known as Big T, starting on the softs at the moment. Same with Jonas, but I'm pretty sure they'll change as we go.
I would love to see Big T if he's got the pace that Fran says he does. As you said, it's just gone to the hards. I was excited if he was going to be on the softs and go for it.
To the right of screen, we've got Franz. To the left, we've got Brands Orbs. And we are underway here in Bahrain. It's a decent start for Franz. Not a great start for Brands Orbs. He's going to lose out to two drivers here. Storming Thunderhead storms into second place. As we go into turn one, it's both the Alpines nearly coming across with the Williams. Brands Orbs only just staying in the podium places here. But out front, Franz leaders around. At the back, there's a couple of drivers. 3 drivers involved, I think.
Yeah, GMZ, Siphon and Skull have all got into a bit of a car park, turn 2.
3 cars there. Skull, Siphon and G3.
Stormy Thunder goes to send it in on Franz. Is Stormy Thunder going to move for the lead here? He does. Will he be able to hold it? I think he has.
Oh, also in the background, a wobble there for Brands Orbs, but Storming Thunderhead takes the lead on the opening lap, and this is exactly what we needed to make something interesting in this league. Brands Orbs fighting behind with Nick Astley, who's had a very good start. He's a 4th on debut here, as he's going to try and look at Brands Orbs. But the story of the first lap has been a bit chaotic. Storming Thunderhead into the lead.
Yeah, disastrous start for Skull and the Williams, who'd qualified up in P8 and now finds himself down in P17 after a 3-way clash. He's in all the way down. He shows serious pace, but you know, you've got to keep it clean.
Just looking at, there is damage on Skull's car. He's got no left end plate on that Williams. Siphon has a little bit more damage to his left side of the front wing, and also with damage I think G3's is missing a right end plate, and Trev Power also into the pits. So those bottom 4 will come into the pits, and it's something we saw last week where we saw a lot of pit stops on the opening lap because of the collision.
4 pit stops on the first lap last time as well.
Skull's in a third actually.
This awful for GMZ, who was one of the 3 drivers that stood on the hard tyres, and now he has to immediately get rid of them, sort of undoing that whole strategy that he had planned out there. The other 2 on the hards are Jonas and Big T.
All about how
P5 leader of the hards.
All about how well Jonas can stick to the back of Nick Astley here on those hards, because those mediums are going to be the better tyre right now. Nick Astley, what a start for the Alpine car, by the way. I have a feeling Glitch was involved in that incident, because we did see the Alpines going line of stern with the Williams going into turn 1 and turn 2. So maybe Glitch was involved in that, but you can see he seems fine. But, at the moment, everyone's within DRS, all the way down to Spinnercop, who's nearly 2 seconds off of Japes in 11th. So we're going to start to see some moves happen down this straight.
Here. It's really close. Yeah, Franz pulls out, looking to retake the lead from Thunderhead.
Is Thunderhead going to think about it into turn 1? No, he's not. It's fastest lap goes to LSA Whistler, so he'll cherish right now. Big T is making moves up the field. He is, although 2.5 seconds off the back of Whistler. But yeah, change of lead. Franz up into the lead once more as Thunderhead nearly goes into the back of him.
Heavily outbroke himself there, the Mercedes man.
Franz
He's a comfortable, you know, they've got probably 7 more laps to go. You can afford to spend half a lap behind Franz. Keeps us in the DRS. You can't win it now, but you can certainly lose it.
Driver closest to anyone is Nick Astley on the back of the Sauber of Brands Orbs. Does he get a good enough exit? No, he doesn't. So actually, that'll bring Jonas into play a little bit. Takes a look. I think he just got a little bit of clean air just to cool down his tyres a bit. He doesn't want to overheat those hard at this stage of the race. But Nick Astley seems to be better through these corners than the Sauber car. So maybe it's all about just lining up the final corner. Glitch getting past Pantry Star. Pantry Star must have made a mistake. He's losing places left, right and centre here. And now he's going to have to defend from Japes as well. But he will get a lot of ERS. Look at this train. Which is headed by Glitch right now. Franz, fastest lap of the race. We could be 3 wide going into turn 1. Could be 4 wide behind as we see Lamb Royal, Glitch and Pantry Star will go at. Lamb Royal takes the place away from Pantry Star as Spikes somehow comes out in 7th place. And Glitch, who was 7th star there, has dropped down to 10th place and now is going to think about another move on the Ferrari or Pantry Star. And it's all kicking off here into turn 1. Glitch and Japes going at it now. I think Glitch ran slightly wide and Japes thought about it, but didn't want to stick it where he didn't want to.
Yeah, disastrous first few laps for Glitch. Other than those involved in that early crash, he's the big loser, down 5 places from his starting position.
Storming Thunderhead struggling to stay on the back of Franz here, nearly losing the DRS, although he's gained a little bit back through that corner. So if he can stay with him, or it's going to be a challenge, nearly a second.
Yeah, he needs to put his battery into overtake to make sure he stays in DRS, getting onto that straight. Because if you lose that, then that'll be Franz gone. You need to keep yourself in this train. Can't afford to let Franz have the gap.
Franz sets another fastest lap of the race. Franz Dorbs has fell out the DRS, so that is going to open the door a little bit here for Nick Astley. And Thunderhead has gained significantly because he kept the DRS. That's how strong it is around here.
I think
Spinnercop gets Whistler.
Had just kept it, yeah, he's got it open. Franz just about flirting with it. But yeah, he's very dangerously close to that. He needs to run away.
Spikes has lost it crucially, so he'll be the cork in the bottle here, or in 7th. So Lamb Royal wants to get past pretty quickly. Spinnercop and Whistler having a good little ding-dong battle here in the end of the first sector, going into the second sector. Whistler gets the position, and Whistler having a bit of a very good race right now. We're going to look at the position changes. Who's been on a stormer right now? Spikes and Lamb Royal both up 4. Glitch had a disaster. He's down 5, but same with the 3 at the back. Down 6 for G3. Down 9 for Skull. Down 2 for Siphon. But yeah, even Big T's up 4, but he's waiting for the pit stop. That's where he's going to make his difference.
This kid is a little bit closer this lap, still in the ERS, a little bit to stay in the DRS range of Franz. I think he might have broken Franz this lap indeed.
Yeah,
or
big time.
Get a good exit in that last corner. I've been sat on Thunder now for the last 3 laps watching Franz's perspective. The first sector, Thunderhead is all over Franz.
Franz is out of ERS, look at it. Crucially, he was below 10%, and Thunderhead using it a bit more wisely right now. So this battle for the lead is not over. Maloom Jonas into 3rd place all of a sudden. That's because Nick Astley has made a mistake. I think he had a collision there maybe with Brand Zorbs as he's falling through the pit field as well. So something must have happened between the Sauber and the Alpine.
Yeah, indeed, Brand's gone off track. I think Brand's got out in a wobble with a couple of cars going, make a move on him, and it just led to disaster. I think
Nick Astley has dropped to 8th. He was running in 4th with Brands in 3rd, and now both of them have dropped out of that podium fight. Spikes is somehow up to 4th.
Up 7 places, a tremendous opening 6 laps from the Ferrari man. But what it has done as well is it's created that buffer that was starting to open anyway for Thunderhead and Franz to just go. These two can break away now and sort of...
Crucially, the hard tyres of Jonas in 3rd, and he's not that far behind.
No,
he's going to have a bit of clean air here as well, so he's going to treat those tyres nicely to try and take them as far as he wants to go. He's definitely not out of this fight for the race win today.
Oh, absolutely not, especially with Spikes as well being another second and a half back from him. He's not going to have any pressure from behind. He hasn't really got to focus on catching these two up ahead. In fact, probably wants those two, let those two fight. Let those two fight, and that's how he can catch himself back up on those hard tyres. Once they come into their own as well, then he's going to be in a really, really strong position to...
Into the pits for Skylar Sims with damage. So he must have been involved. He was running up in the top 5. So he must have been involved there a little bit. He's had a good qualifying as well there.
Yeah, P7 and P8 for Williams, now down in P14 and P17.
Yeah.
Or really bad turn 4
side by side with Spikes. There's still side by side a little bit of wheel banging between the Sauber and the Ferrari. The Sauber gets the move done and is going to try and recover back to the podium places. Lamb Royal, the first track limits penalty in this race. That's what cost him the race win in Australia, and it might cost him some positions here in Bahrain. So yeah, not what he wants. Nearly into the... He does go into the back of Spikes actually. Lucky he's not to come away with some damage. But yeah, it's all a little bit sloppy right now in this midfield.
And he's still absolutely burning for his batteries to try and keep that gap. He's got 20% less than Thunder, who's kicked up in this DRS range. So Franz is trying to break away and it's just not working.
Thunderhead has some incredible pace in his Mercedes.
His first 2 sectors, he's really, really close to Franz. Third, where he lets go down a little bit. I wonder if Thunderhead's running a higher downforce setup. Because during those first 2 sectors, especially through the S's in sector 1...
Is he going to think about the moves to the inside at turn 1 though? He's not. He's going to wait for the move a little bit wide there for Franz though. So he's going to be a preferable line for the Mercedes car. And there's a yellow flag in sector 1. There's a bit of chaos. That is Lamb Royal.
It's Spikes.
It was Spikes from 4th. It looked like Lamb Royal initially because of where the dot was. Nick Astley is back up into 5th place. Storming Thunderhead, crucially, as we look away because of the yellow flag, is back into the lead of the Bahrain Grand Prix. And that is a crucial overtake, especially because we're so near to the pit stop phase.
Crucially, it's what had happened. Look at Jonas now. It's within 1 second, closing in on 1 second on Franz. So he is getting exactly what he wants from this race. Thunderhead and Franz fighting has allowed the RB car to get back in this fight on those hard tyres. So the second phase of this race, he's going to be in such a strong position.
Big T, we said he's going to make some progress in this race. He's now into the top 10. He's also on the alternate strategy with Jonas, and they're the only two who haven't boxed on that strategy at the moment. So yeah, we'll see how his progress happens. I can't speak. What is going on?
Yeah, up 8 places for Big T, and as well, first few laps he was caught behind Fincock and Whistler, who were 2-3 seconds off the gap. Obviously closed down for incidents so far. But Big T now up to P9.
Past Spikes, yeah. Lock up there on the front right though. Has he got a bit of damage on that Red Bull? He does. He doesn't have a right end plate. That is interesting. Maloom Jonas is right in this fight now. And this is where the hards are going to be the better time. We've got a couple of people coming into the pit. That's Pantry Star and Glitch coming in for their first pit stop of the race. That will be a 2-stop for those. But we'll see how far these go out front. Storming Thunderhead and Franz nearly touching each other here. From front wing to rear wing. Franz, used to being the hunted, becomes the hunter. And yeah, he's going to want to try and get past Storming Thunderhead as soon as he can. This has been a fantastic drive so far from the Mercedes car. And even from Maloom Jonas, who's right here and arguably is in the best position out of the 3 of these right now.
Yeah, Jonas hit himself clean with all the chaos unfolding behind him. And yeah, on those hard tyres is well poised. But yeah, Thunderhead has done fantastically well. Kept himself with Franz during the absolute
sector
chaos.
1, that's a Mercedes. I think that's G3. He's had a bit of an off. And that would have been perfect for Storming Thunderhead, it has to be said. But luckily, no interference. I'm not suggesting Crashgate. That would have just been just really fortunate timing. Franz is just closer than he's ever been on this lap. He's going to try and get a good exit. He's not got more battery. He's got more battery than he's used to having at this stage of the lap. He's going to deploy the DRS and the ERS. So is Maloom Jonas. He's just going to stick behind these 2. Franz is going to move to the inside line on board with Maloom Jonas. There's a lock-up from Storming Thunderhead. He's going to try and get the switchback though, but Maloom Jonas was right there. Oh, and a bit of a wobble from Jonas, to be fair. Franz into the lead, but for how long? Storming Thunderhead, oh yeah, he doesn't get the DRS because of the double detection. And Franz into the lead of the race, but it's a bit wide from the Aston Martin car as Storming Thunderhead tried to get the up and under through turn 4, doesn't get it. Big T is somehow up into 6th. There's a story there that we're missing because of this battle out front.
Yeah, any other week we'd be all over the Big T drive for the field, but we actually have a battle up front we did not have last week. This time last week at Silverstone, Franz was 12 seconds down the road, but here we have the top 3 separated by a second.
And Brands Orbs is just gaining on these. Same with Nick Astley. They are gaining. Nick Astley in a bit of a world of his own right now. But I'm sure he'll be happy in his first race here, running in 5th place. So Jonas is just hanging back yet again. He's doing the smart thing. He's not using up too much of his tyres. And he's just letting these two fight. Use up their tyres, which are a soft compound, which therefore means they are more horrible to drive on at this part of the race. And Jonas could be the beneficiary of a double toe. One person who will try and benefit from the toe either way is Storming Thunderhead. He's going to try and think about a move into turn 1, doesn't. And he's going to try and hold out for the DRS on the run towards turn 4, making sure he gets a good exit.
As he goes for the slightly early pit stop, try and get undercut, see if he can get himself back up with Brands and maybe on the back of Jonas, when Jonas will do his pit stop eventually.
Yeah, Brands Orbs and is not out of this at all for a podium. If he plays his cards right, if he can extend those mediums as long as he can, because he'll get an undercut on Jonas either way. But, as we look for the battle for 7th place, Spinner Cop all over the back of Spikes. Spikes has had a bit of an up and down race, it has to be said. He was once the biggest gain, and now he's running in 7th. Spinner Cop can obviously see that Spikes is struggling on his tyres. Another lock-up there from the Ferrari. It's not going to help. And it looks like Spinnercop's going to get the good run off of turn 10. But a little bit of an ERS stump from Spikes will help him keep the position running into turn 11.
A bit of wobble there for Jonas. I'm playing a ball off on 3 just to keep an eye on how things going there. Still going to be within DRS range just, but yeah, awful snap of oversteer coming out of the corner, and Franz does pit.
He's the first out of the top 3 to pit here. Let's see if it works out for him. Storming Thunderhead did fake to the pits. Thought about it. I think he just took a bit of the toe. So now he's got clean air to show what he can do. Lock up into turn 1's not going to help.
Turn 1.
And that, I think, basically confirms Franz will come out ahead. But it's all about what Jonas can do now. This is his time to shine in the V car, who have had a couple of podiums already this season. And they want to keep that run going.
Franz crucially is coming out into clean air, no traffic around him. So yeah, he can now set in a mega outlap.
Lamb Royal, fastest lap of the race, 31.0.
Yeah, on those,
showing the pace he's got.
Mediums.
A lot of these on the 2-stop. Nick Astley and Lamb Royal will not go to the end on those because that would be suicide.
No, they're definitely going to be stopping this race. I think they're probably hoping for safety cars later on in the race.
Yeah, we're going to hit a bit of stagnation period in this race because the strategies are just unfolding. But they'll all hopefully meet at the end here. But Jonas and Storming Thunderhead is the main battle right now. Can Jonas get past Storming Thunderhead before either of them pit? Now, I'd assume Storming Thunderhead will be in at the end of this lap.
Yeah,
we're going to have a
really scruffy lap from the driver, and that would not have been what he would have wanted. Yeah, he is coming in. Just to, I guess, to slow down in time.
Jonas takes the lead of the race then. On the alternate strategy, this is a bit like an F2 race, it has to be said, right now. With a couple of drivers on the alternate strategy, and they have 1 and 2 right now. Big T up into 2nd from the back of the grid. Let's see, he's got 8.5 seconds to Jonas.
Franz is just coming over the finish line now. How close is it? This is actually going to be closer than I thought it would be between Franz and Storming.
Franz
fair play.
does get it.
He's got it, but Storming is closer than I thought it'd be. It's still going to be 1.2, 1.4 seconds or so. But
It'll be a bit. It'll be
gonna
2 seconds by the end of the lap because of the tyre warm up. So
Yeah, I thought it'd be a lot worse given how scruffy Thunderhead's in lap was.
I'd like to point out, Big T doesn't have a front right end plate. He's just firming it, and he's doing a decent job, not losing too much time. Sticking with damage.
That is a man on a mission right there. Again, hoping on those hard tyres, has to go a bit longer anyway. Maybe hoping that in a couple of laps' time we get a safety car that will put him right in contention.
Jonas is on it. He is flying right now to try and keep a gap.
Yeah, he needs to sort of pump out.
Going to change the gap on the main feed to the leader because that's the important thing. At the moment, it's just about 20 seconds he's got to Franz. But obviously, when he does box, and obviously he does have to go quite a bit longer on those hards to make his strategy work. 20 seconds right now. He needs it to stay. If it gets, he wants it to not go lower than 18 seconds because that's when he'll start to question why he was on the alternate strategy in the first place. But it's put him in a position to maybe take a surprising race win here.
We just had a quick look at lap times, and I didn't quite catch Jones's last lap, but Big T and Franz, considering Big T has that damage and is on 14 or 13 lap tyres at that time, Franz was only 8/10 faster. So those hard tyres are still really doing the business for Big T and Jonas.
If the F1 game would like to give us the tyre graphic that we all love, which shows the percentage of Jonas's tyres, it'd be much appreciated right now. Nick Astley with a 3-second time penalty for multiple track limits excursions. Running in 5th. Not a bad race from him so far in the Alpine, showing he's got pace. And he's got the better of his teammate Glitch so far, who is a mainstay in this league. He's been in this league for a while and has always been towards the front. So Nick Astley beating him is a very good statement of intent. So, one of our reserve drivers this season.
That was a 1:33.4 for Jonas. Let's see what Franz does in response, because it doesn't seem that the
Franz has taken about a second out of this lap. Watching the gaps come down. The gap to the leader is now 19 seconds. He's
32.4.
Yeah, he's taking about a second out, and Thunderhead isn't quite gaining that much. So yes, Franz Orbs is in the DRS of Nick Astley as he goes into turn 1. So we're on lap 15 of 29, and we still don't really know who's going to win this race, but the net leader, we have to say, is Franz right now. We're Storming Thunderhead in a net second, but Jonas on the alternate strategy is still within this fight for the race win. It's just all about how well he can hold on to those tyres and not lose much time.
I say, yeah, be around lap 16, 17, we expect Jonas to come in. So
that's a long way to go on mediums.
He'll drop behind Thunderhead.
Franz Orbs going to make a move here to the inside of Nick Astley going into turn 11. And Franz Orbs back up into the top 5 here as Nick Astley and Lamb Royal are on the 2-stop here, so they will box again.
Big T is coming in.
He's going to repair his front wing. I'm assuming he's going to repair his front wing here.
Yes, he is.
Yes. I'm intrigued to see where he comes out.
I think you're probably going to be looking at... It's going to be around... So just ahead of Skylar Sims here. Be very close. Well, Skylar Sims is boxing, so he's definitely going to be ahead of Skylar Sims.
Considering he has to change his front wing, still be in the top fighting in the top 10. It's going to be really close to Whistler, actually.
Yeah.
Lock up there, so that's not going to help him on those fresh tyres.
He had to slam the brakes. He used ERS down the pit, on the pit exit to try and stay ahead of this McLaren. He knew how crucial it was to get ahead of him and Jakes.
Running well in this race, Big T.
Yeah, P9 on the fresh mediums, already just tearing through fiddle on the hards. Now let's see what he can do when he's at his absolute fastest.
So no matter what happens here with Jonas, he'll come out in some clean air. He won't retake first or second, but he'll be on the best tyre at the right time, on the lowest amount of fuel that anyone would be on that tyre. So Jonas could do this. I don't want to jinx it. It's all about the first thing's catching, and then it's overtaking, and overtaking Storming Thunderhead and Franz in this race is going to be no mean feat. So
that's the thing is, it's not just the battle with Franz. He has to get past Thunderhead first, who we know still want to keep hold of that P2. And at the moment, he's still got to be considering himself a P1. He has closed the gap to Franz considerably, so close to DRS. And if he gets back in that DRS, then he's pretty much back in the fight.
A couple of stories that have happened in this race. Obviously, Big T is now up 11 places, and he's making those mediums work already. As he gets past Pantry Star, Spikes is going at it with Spinner Cop here, and Spikes had a bit of an up and down race, running in 4th at one point, a net 4th as well. Now he's down in 12th, and Spinner Cop is going to think about a move into turn 4. Is he going to be better on the exit? The Sauber and the Ferrari, these two have come together already today, but Spikes has kept the position for the time being. Lamb Royal up 6 places, but he is carrying a 3-second time limit, which is not going to make a difference right now, but
I think
if we get an intervention
coming in soon, because that gap to Franz has come down drastically over the last couple of laps. It's down to 14.8 seconds.
He's in now. He is in now. So, as you were saying,
he did come out just behind Lamb Royal, probably.
I think he'll come out in that gap between Thunderhead and Brands Orbs here.
True, there we go. Just quite far down the pit lane, so he might just be able to sneak out ahead of the Kick Sauber.
Yeah, he will.
I mean, it's going to be very tight, very, very tight.
Yeah, this is important for Jonas. Cuts across nicely, actually. So it's still 3rd place. He's got some work to do, and this is going to be an interesting few laps for Malum Jonas as he tries to warm up his tyres immediately. And Brands Orbs is still in this, but realistically, for anything to go Brands Orbs' way in terms of a podium fight, he needed to be ahead of Jonas there.
Well, right now it's going to be those medium runners charging after our top 2. Because Fran's last laps at his fastest lap of the race were 1:31.9. Big T was 2 seconds faster than that. So you imagine that Jonas can be putting up similar sort of differences.
I think Big T is going to make a late charge to 4th here. Don't count him out for some very good points today in that Red Bull, who have struggled so far this season, it has to be said. Especially with one of the seats. It'll be good for them to get some decent points on the board. Storming Thunderhead all over the back of Franz right now, and definitely within the DRS. Going into the final couple of corners of lap 18, and onto lap 19, we are going to get DRS. Looking down the main straight, is Storming Thunderhead going to be able to get past Franz on this main straight? Malum Jonas will be licking his lips if these two fight down the inside, thinking about it, locking up there. Storming Thunderhead is going to try and prioritise the exit, but doesn't get the line he wants going in through the first chicane.
Nick in for his 2nd stop. On the field that's gone for 2 stop dash today.
Got some work to do as well as Nick Astley if he wants to get some good points. Because he's had pace today. He's had some really good pace in that Alpine.
Running in the top 5 or 6 for most of the race.
Jonas is now less than 5 seconds away from the back of Storming Thunderhead. So maybe France and Storming Thunderhead are going to try and work together here to keep him away with the DRS. I know it's a bit of a risky game to pull with the guy you're fighting directly at the moment in this race, but if you're either of them, you'd rather have only be fighting each other rather than have 3 in the mix. But yeah, could see some DRS chicken happen between the Mercedes and the Aston. A bit wide there from Thunderhead, but it will get a good exit. And looking at the ERS, Storming Thunderhead has 20% more. So that's something to play with down the straight.
He's consistently had more battery over Franz throughout this whole race. Franz also struggling with his ERS management, so he's using it well enough. He's never dropping too low. But
as close as he's been for a while, Storming Thunderhead, is he going to actually make a move into turn 1? It looks like he's going to pull to the right-hand side. Down the inside goes Storming Thunderhead. A little bit of contact going into the corner entry. And that was Storming Thunderhead moving over a little bit on Franz, and that's a... Ooh. I think that's something they'll give a warning to, I think.
That's very much on the limit. Thunderhead.
I know Franz will be fuming. I've known Franz a few years now. He will not take that lightly.
And that changes everything.
Yellow flag in Sector 2. That round is Skylar Sims, I believe. No, it's Glit. Oh, what has happened? That's Skull, maybe. Yeah, Skull was round.
Also, a 3-second time penalty for Storming Thunderhead for track limits. That means he's going to be at risk of losing out on the podium entirely.
Yeah.
But it means Jonas 2.6 away. He's gained nearly 2 seconds over the last 2 laps.
Jonas is in a great position because of these two been fighting. Thunderhead probably knows now he's not going to win this race, but he can now try and make life really difficult for Franz. It has to be said.
I think Jones might be putting in a fastest lap here as well. It's purple in Sector 2. 1:30 is currently the fastest lap, followed by Big T in P5. Jonas is going to beat that time. Oh, just misses out. Still
2 seconds behind now.
Yeah, he's got exactly what he wanted. He got Franz and Thunderhead fighting in the first half of space, and they're fighting each other again, which opens the door up massively.
2, that is
Skull again.
Not having fun in this race. It was looking so good after qualifying for Williams, and now they're only looking at one car all over the place. His tyres must be absolutely shot. Yeah, not a fun time for Skull. If I was Skull, I'd box and go for fastest lap here, because points are off the table.
Just be careful, because he's got the leader's getting kind of close to him now. They don't want to be last thing
down the same stretch of time now.
The last thing was this race being decided by back mark getting in the way.
Yeah, Storming Thunderhead is trying to storm out of the DRS of Franz and trying to pull a gap. He's got some warnings to play with now because he got that penalty. And I'm intrigued to see how many warnings Franz is on. He's usually really good with track limits.
I'm just having a look through now to see if I can find anything on. So I can see one. I think it's just the one. Yeah, just the one track limit so far for Franz.
Jonas, I think he's just going a bit easy at this stage. He just wants to save his tyres for the right moment. And hopefully he's drained his battery, in fairness. And
yeah, he's trying to get himself closer, so he needs to have a few laps of just a bit calmer.
As I was saying earlier, Big T could go for a run for P4 in this race. He's 2 seconds off of Brandsorbs right now, who is currently occupying that 4th place position. That could come true, because Big T is flying in this stint. Spinnercop is in for his 2nd stop of the race. Jonas 1.2 off the back of Franz now, so he is really gaining here. He could be in the DRS before the end of this lap.
Yeah, he's using his practice to try and get it. He's so desperate to get it. Another huge look up from Franz. But not
he does get it. He doesn't get on this straight, but he's now within the 1 second. Yellow flag Sector 2, that is Skull.
Again. Let's be careful how he joins. He got the lead coming up.
He's moved off track.
Stay off track.
Go wait for these to go through. really close. 2 tenths between the leaders. Maleem Jonas is looking at this with an opportunity for VCARB.
This is huge. A 3-way battle for the lead as Sculligan gets out the way of Franz and Big T.
Franz is he's so close, and he's gonna make the move, but that also means Thunderhead is just gonna get in the DRS, looking for some clean air as Jonas on those mediums, just to try and save some tyre life. Skull speeding in pit lane, 10 times out each. It's a long day for Skull. It's unfortunate.
I think the quicker he can get out of Bahrain, the better.
Jonas looks to the right. Oh, it's contact, and a bit of debris has gone off of the Mercedes.
Lost the front wing there. They've come close to a couple of times, those two, into turn 4.
Thinks about it, down the inside goes Jonas. Into turn 9. Turn 8, sorry.
The big problem here is to let Franz get away. This is why Jonas wants to make the move. Once you get that damage, it's like, well, I need to get past because otherwise Franz could break away. Unfortunately, Thunder defended.
Jonas is not going to be happy with what Storming Thunderhead's doing right now, but obviously it is completely fair. Down the inside goes Jonas into turn 11, gets the move done, and now he's going to have a bit of clean air to go and push on to try and get Franz in this race, which would be for the race win.
Well, Big T has got that P4 we predicted.
He could be looking at a podium now.
Yeah, with Thunderhead having damage and the penalty.
This would be a fantastic drive from Big T, and it would be a driver of the day performance if Maleem Jonas wasn't putting on an absolute show for us right now. And he's already nearly clawing the gap back. So there's a couple of things we've got to be watching for now. The gap coming down for Big T. And Jonas trying to close in on Franz. This is going to happen towards the last lap of the race, I reckon.
Yeah, that time lost behind, getting past Thunder is proving crucial at the moment. He still has the fastest tyres, and Franz has had some issues, especially in the first sector throughout the race. But out of the DRS for now, he could be on for the hat-trick for the Aston Martin driver.
I think Big T's had a moment somewhere. He's lost a little bit of time there to Storming Thunder. Brands Orbs, 3 seconds, and there's a safety car. Skull is retired from the session on track.
Can't get to see it. That's a crash. That's a crash into a wall.
That's right on the middle of the straight.
Yeah.
So I think Skull's going to be in a bit of trouble, and unless he's punctured.
So, do any of our top 3 consider boxing onto softs?
I think they will, yeah, because there's enough time. Drive through for spikes. Oh, he's running back into the top 8.
His roller coaster race takes another big dip. I think Brand Orbs definitely needs to go onto the softs. He's got an 18-second gap behind him. Won't be surprised to see Thunder go for it.
So who's this bad for? Storming Thunderhead, definitely.
Yeah, Franz is in, Jonas is in, Thunderhead's in.
There's enough time to get a normal restart. That's the important thing. Big T is now in with a chance at a race win.
Yep, he's coming in as well. They're all coming in yet. Brands follows.
Jonas got him. No, it was just.
No, just in the bit, just bits.
Yeah. If he saves a set of softs, this is going to be a crucial moment.
Yeah, they're all on the softs. This is disastrous, although it is Thunderhead with that 3-second
He'll drop
penalty.
out the podium places. Spikes stays out, crucially.
But yeah, she can't safely drive through under the safety car, so he's going to be finishing
out of it, like
pretty much dead last.
Is that like we saw last week? Or I'm getting the leagues mixed up, where someone just... I think it was yesterday, actually, where someone was on for a podium place and then got a drive-through because of the Delta. So, was just out of it. Glitch staying out, though.
Yeah, it's a bold move to try something. Have a look at tyres. He's only on 5-lap old mediums, so we might as well try and hold position, capitalise on any potential chaos, knowing that he's got spiked ahead in the penalty, Brand ahead in the penalty, Dunn ahead in the penalty. But there could still be points in it for him. 5-lap old mediums aren't too bad considering you're only going to be racing for 2 or 3 more laps.
I'm intrigued here with what happened with Skull. Oh, his wheel turned off. His wheel turned off. Yeah.
If you could pick a way to summarise his race today, that about does it. Fantastic qualifying, and then everything that could go wrong has gone wrong.
Yeah, it's a tough one, but it happens. Skull, I'm sure he'll be back next week to try and get a good result. He's definitely got a fantastic drive in him. He put it in the top 10 in qualifying. If you put it in the top 10 in qualifying, you can put it on the podium in this league. With how close the pace is. So, this really...
The safety car in this lap, I believe. I think it's 3 laps racing at the end.
It might be, yeah.
Unlike last week, I actually had time to bunch the field back up.
Yeah, that's why Fran stayed out last week, because he knew it was going to happen, which is good, good knowledge. Like, it's what you need, really, if you're going to pick up the pieces in leagues. But he's still got an uphill battle to try and get this race win to make it a perfect start for him, which he will not continue next week because he's not here. So he'll be looking at the perfect 90 points today.
Crucially, Jonas is the only other driver in the league that's got past the 30-point mark this season, sitting on 47 at the moment. He's the closest challenger to Franz. So right now we have the championship leader and his closest contender in 1 and 2, with a 3-lap shootout. And with Franz missing next week, Jonas could be really sensing this is his chance to take top spots in the driver standings.
I think it will be in this lap because look how close G3 and Siphon are. It's a chance for them to pick up something in this race.
Yeah, it's giving everyone a shot of something.
It has kind of made the last 25 laps a bit redundant. But
yeah, it has, but I think those 25 laps were entertaining enough on their own that, you know, who doesn't like a bit of extra drama just to add to it?
One thing that is a shame, we don't get to see how the strategy would have panned out at the end between Jonas and Franz. That's one thing.
Safety car is staying up for another lap. I thought it would be in this lap. Oh no, that's a very late call. Oscar Piastri with jealous for that call.
So, when Fran's going to go, he's gone. How many people has it caught out into the pits is Spice Service drive-through. How far behind is Jonas to try and take this race lead? He's got Thunderhead to try and deal with going into turn 1. We've got 3 laps to go in this Grand Prix. And it's Thunderhead in third. He's got the bottle and he's the cork in the bottle between Big T to try and get a podium from the back of the grid.
Jonas is desperately saying, Thunderhead, don't you dare, you've got a 3-second time period, don't you dare ruin this for me.
Jonas has had fantastic pace all race long. He can see an opportunity here to try and get a race win for the first time this season. Lock up there though, that's not going to help anything. Glitch just losing out to Pantry Stars. Big T also now on the back of this. This is going to be a 4-way fight for this win.
Yeah, those medium tyres not quite working for Glitch. It's not again, he has tried something different to try and get the big points, and it's unfortunately backfired.
Big T so close to the back of the Mercedes car. Is he going to try and get the up and under through turn 12? Not quite. It's the DRS. It's going to be the important thing going on to lap 28, which is the penultimate lap of this race. So Jonas But by this time, he's got slightly less ERS than Franz to work with, but won't have it on this straight. He'll have the DRS on the next straight, which is the important thing.
Big T's gonna make move on Thunder.
Doesn't even need the DRS. He's going to go down the inside into turn 1. Going to brake very late. Almost into the back of the sister Red Bull team's car. And up into the podium places for Big T, and he wants more. Trev Park with a penalty.
Franz will be hoping that Big T does try and send it on Jonas. That'll keep him away.
First time we've seen V-Car versus Red Bull this season, it has to be said. And this time it's for a second place and not towards the back. So Franz is eking out a gap here. Is he nearly got? He has got a second, you know. So this is all about Big T trying to get P2.
Just inside, just kept the DRS.
Big T has definitely got a race set up on. He's rapid in a straight line.
Franz absolutely tuned for his DRS to try and keep Jonas at bay. I think it might just have worked.
1.2 is the gap, so Jonas will be very vulnerable to Big T here as we go about to go on to the final lap of the race. Spike's unfortunately out of it here. It's a massive shame for him.
It goes to Big T here, get past Jonas into turn 1, and it can he chase down Franz.
I think he's got enough time. Big T is going to find a way into second place from the back of the grid. It's been a fantastic drive from the Red Bull driver. And how much has he gained on Franz with using that?
Franz
He gained about half a second.
Franz has no battery left. Franz used all his battery to get ahead, keep Jonas out. He might just about have Big T in. Might be one lap too little.
Yeah, one more lap. I think Big T would have done this. He's 8 tenths away. But for Jonas, it's another one that's just slipped out of his hands. It's twice this season where he's been in contention. It's just something's changed it. How is he going to go through this corner? How much of the tyres has Franz used up compared to Big T? Great exit from Big T. If he can get a decent enough run, he could still do this. 4.5 tenths, down to 3.5 tenths, down to 3 tenths, down to 2.5 tenths. This is so close for the race win.
I think Franz might just have it, and there's no DRS on this last straight here. It's just going to be too little too late for Big T. You can smell Franz, but he cannot get close enough. And it is going to be 3 from 3 for Franz, I believe. He's going to extend his championship lead.
Can he hold on? One more lap and it would have been it for Big T, but Franz wins 3 in a row. Big T gets a podium from last on the grid. Jonas, another one slipping away for the V-Car driver. He'll be disappointed that he couldn't get that win today. Thunderhead ended up keeping 4th place. Ahead of Pantry Star, Brandzorbs, Japes, Skylar Sims, Whistler and Lamb Royal in the top 10. Spinning Cop 11th, Astley in 12th, Trev, Typhon, Glitch and G3 16th. And Spike's got unlucky with the Delta, so he'll finish 17th. And we only had one retirement, which was Skull. Caused that late safety car. But Franz goes back to back to back, and when he's missing out next week, 90 points out of a possible 90 to start the season is a fantastic start to the season. Driver of the day goes to Big T. You have to say, he's definitely in contention. He was so close to that race win from the back of the grid. That would have been something special.
Performance from so many of our drivers today. Big T from the back to P2. Franz did really well throughout the race. Jonas was phenomenal and got unlucky with the safety car timing. The first stint, Storm Thunderhead was electric pace, matching Franz all the way. There was
Pantry Star randomly in 5th.
Yeah, so many drivers had fantastic races today. It was impossible for us to keep up with it.
Yeah, Pantry Star had a quiet race and ended up 5th. That's a great result for the Ferrari car. It's another top 5 as his third of the second top 5 in 3 races. He'll be happy with that for Ferrari. I think that's because Brand's got a penalty at the end. So So Japes 7th, Skylar Sims 8th, Whistler 9th, Lamb Royal 10th. As Spinnacock, Nick Astley, Trev Pass, Siphon, and Glitch get the final point, and Spikes with that penalty was unlucky. Yeah, it's been another good race, another win for Franz. We need something else to happen. And we'll get that next week because he's not here. So we'll actually have a different winner next week. So next week we are racing. Where are we racing? That's a good question. We are racing around Jeddah, which is always provides the thrills.
Yes, you think our races so far have been chaos. The streets of Saudi Arabia often throw up plenty of action.
Yeah, Franz 90 points out of a possible 90. Yeah, inevitable. Taxes, life, death, taxes, Franz. Inevitable. Alright. We'll catch you next week for Jeddah. It's been always a pleasure to commentate here. It's always entertaining. This is the main thing. I think BQ Girls will agree.
Oh, indeed. It's been 3 fantastic races to start the season. I'm sure it's going to continue next week at Jeddah.
Yep. And it won't be France winning. That's the main thing. So, the chance for Jonas to maybe crawl back a little bit in the championship.
I'm sure he can still find a way. His spirit will win.
Yeah, there's 2 races where I reckon he believes he should have won. But other things said no. And it makes it interesting going on the alternate strategy every race. And it'll work eventually. Anyway, see you next week.